Hey everybody, Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich here. Want to do a quick update on the rain that's heading our way for Friday, because some of it's going to be heavy, and for parts of the area we might actually see a little severe weather, though honestly I'm going to tell you it's all going to depend on the warm air. So let's get right to what's going on out there tonight. One thing I've noticed is the rain has been incredibly light, and it's been very fast moving. So we haven't seen a ton of rain, but you can see pockets of rain moving across the area now. And there's heavier rain lurking back towards the southwest. So as we go in closer, some of the heavier bands have been up here along Interstate 40. And again, so far the amounts have been a quarter to half an inch. But you can see what's going on back to the southwest. This is actually the remnant low, if you will, somewhere in there, somewhere around Tuscaloosa, Alabama, is where we have the remnants of beta, and it's moving generally in this direction. But there's a big plume of moisture ahead of it, as well as southerly winds, which are pushing in the moisture right now. So you can see the excessive flash flood outlook, or rainfall outlook we call it, medium threat for the mountains and foothills. That's for tonight through about 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. Then we go through tomorrow, you can see that threat shifts east from basically I-77 off to the east. So this is like, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 8 a.m. to 8 a.m. as we go from Friday to Saturday. And then by Saturday after 8 a.m., all this mess moves out of here. So we know there's going to be some heavy rain, at least the potential, low to medium threat. But there's also this low-end risk for severe storms tomorrow, and I'll show you where it is. And it's very interesting to watch where this sets up. You see the area in yellow. I actually have a yellow cursor. So it's down in this area. Up here, we're going to have some cool air in place. And if you probably have heard me refer to this cool wedge of air called the cold air damming, or the CAD, which stands for cold air damming, or the wedge. It's basically when cool air gets trapped against the mountains and we get a warm front down here where moisture rides up and over it. But that boundary between the cool and warm air can oftentimes be an area where we could see some severe weather. So for that reason, there is a low-end risk for severe storms tomorrow, primarily isolated tornado or damaging wind threat, but flooding is still our biggest concern, though even that threat is barely nosing in to the medium range. So let me show you something first as far as temperatures are concerned, because I think this is interesting. So I'm going to stop this. I don't know why I started playing. So these are our short range rapid refresh model we look at for temperatures. So a couple things you notice during the overnight hours. It's pretty chilly around Charlotte. In fact, I've got 63 at the airport right now, and the temperature doesn't really move much overnight. So I'm going to stop this at 7 a.m. And you can see a pretty cool pocket of air basically right in here. But notice what's going on from Rock Hill to Monroe and south and east. Watch those temperatures through the day tomorrow. Notice as they start to spike up a little. I'm going to go to about 1 o'clock here. Notice some of these temperatures. Okay, we're 66 in Charlotte, but it's 80 in Cheraw, 79 Wadesboro, 78 in Rockingham. So there's a boundary right in here. Along and south of the boundary, we're going to have a chance for severe storms. Where the air is cool, really no issues at all. But this boundary, again, could set up here, could drift a little north, could drift a little south. So tomorrow during the day, we watch where that boundary sets up, because it looks like it kind of meanders around that same area, and we'll run out of data there through about mid-afternoon. Now, why is that important? Well, let me show you the FUTURECAST. This is the future radar. You can see this heavy rain rolling in around 3, 4 in the morning. I'm going to stop this around 8 a.m. That's really heavy rain, everybody, across a big chunk of the area. But what I want you to notice is that we get closer to 1. Remember the temperatures I just showed you. Down here, it was close to 80. Notice this line, kind of a line of storms setting up on that boundary. So any storm down there like this one or anything that develops out here, and then as this line moves into the warmer air, we're going to watch for the potential. Watch these storms. Watch them by 3, 4 o'clock. See how they're getting a little bigger from Monroe, the Lancaster, to Wadesboro. This is the area. This is where, if we're going to see a severe thunderstorm tomorrow, that's the location, because there'll be heat, some humidity, and some wind shear to maybe spin up a quick severe storm, damaging winds, maybe even an isolated tornado. You can see how that line really explodes when it gets towards I-95 in eastern North Carolina. Then it moves out and we get back into the drizzly, misty kind of stuff. So what's the tornado potential? Well, you've seen me show this parameter for significant tornado parameter, and we'll go through the morning hours. Again, no big deal through the morning. We're okay overnight. Okay, watch what happens around 1 o'clock tomorrow. Again, not too big of a deal, but Lancaster, 0.3. Hey, that's the area I'm watching. We go into the afternoon, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you see maybe a 0.1, 0.2. Nothing really jumps out at me and says that's a huge risk. That's good news. Let's look at the rotation tracks, which is essentially showing us storms that have the potential to rotate. So we'll go through tonight, go through tomorrow. Yeah, a few of these. Ooh, look at this cell right here. This is one to keep an eye on. Remember, the FUTURECAST also had a cell right there. Notice the time, 2:30. So we've got heat and humidity. So the timing, so that's an area to watch tomorrow. Lancaster County, Chester County, Chesterfield, Anson, Richmond County. So those are the areas. So again, if we're going to see a tornado threat tomorrow, this is the general area that we'll watch for that potential. So how much rain are we talking about? Well, that's the big story for all of us. Let me quickly show you FUTURECAST rainfall, and I'm going to stop this at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. on Saturday morning. So again, 1 to maybe 3 inches. If that falls over a 24-hour period, we should be okay. But one thing I know, it's going to be a wet day tomorrow. Be ready for heavy rain. And folks, if you live down in this area, kind of be a little bit more weather aware tomorrow, because the potential, if we get some heating, any sunshine, if you see the temperature getting closer to 80, you start paying more closer attention to the weather tomorrow, because that means potential for some stronger severe storms. And of course, I'll be tracking it tonight, all day tomorrow. We'll have you covered as we go through your Friday. Have a great Thursday night, everybody.